Football, soccer, often celebrated as the beautiful game, is a sport that constantly evolves, shaped by visionary players that helped redefine traditional roles. These players brought something unique to their position, a new form of intelligence or technique, transforming the way their traditional positions were perceived and played. So today I'm going to be telling you about some footballers that redefined and revolutionized their positions. And I think, like many of you when hearing this topic, that the first player that comes to mind is Claude Makélélé. Now, Claude Makélélé was no fraud. He was a French general who, like many Frenchmen in the past, revolutionized the defensive midfielder position, doing it so profoundly that media renamed the position after Makélélé. His ability to read the game, intercept passes and shield the defense was unparalleled, meaning that nobody during his time could come close to his brilliance. Makélélé's time playing for Chelsea under Jose Mourinho was phenomenal, seeing his side win 2 Premier League titles and establish themselves as a dominant English force. And if we roll back to 2005, we can see that Makélélé was an absolute wall for Chelsea, providing a solid foundation for Chelsea's attack. At one point, Chelsea had the best defence in the world, and it wasn't just down to their Hall of Fame centre-backs, it was also down to Makélélé, who neutralised attacks before they had even reached the defence. And his influence is still seen to this day, with many defensive midfielders trying to emulate his style. But Makélélé, of course, is not the only midfielder on this list. Andrea Pirlo is someone that gets completely overlooked when you talk about the best midfielders of the last 2 decades. Often referred to as the metronome, Andrea Pirlo redefined what it meant to be a regista, otherwise known as a deep-lying playmaker that can dictate the tempo of a game. Playing in this withdrawn position, Pirlo's vision, precision passing and calmness enabled him to orchestrate play. Something like a waltz, he was a maestro conducting an orchestra. Pirlo's career really took off at AC Milan, where he helped them to 2 Champions Leagues in 2003 and 2007. However, it was at Juventus where his magic truly flourished, helping the club to 4 consecutive Serie A titles from 2012 all the way to 2015. And I think one moment in Pirlo's career that really defines his role as a regista was his laid-back approach to the penalty kick he took against England in 2012. This was a Euros quarter-final. All the pressure was on him, and you know what he did? He strolled up to this penalty in front of all these fans and lobbed it over Joe Hart, showing that his class was not temporary but permanent. He, for me, is an artist that revolutionized the regista position, being able to be a playmaker in a deeper role on a pitch. But when it comes to Italians redefining a position, I think it's hard to overlook someone like Pippo Inzaghi. Inzaghi was often described as a goal poacher, a striker that lived on the edge of the offside trap. His uncanny ability to time his runs perfectly was a nightmare for defenders. And during his peak, he helped AC Milan, just like Pirlo, win Champions Leagues in 2003 and 2007. And let's just take it back to that 2007 Champions League final, where Inzaghi's predatory instinct helped him throughout this game, capitalizing on every mistake and every moment of hesitation by the Liverpool defense. His first goal being a deflective free kick, and his second being a deft touch past the keeper. He was just a guy that was able to anticipate and execute. And with over 300 career goals, you can't say that this man was not good at his job. Being in the right place and at the right time was just his thing. And his stats speak for itself, averaging a goal every 2 games. For an ability that could be made redundant in the modern era, this guy took advantage of being a poacher. But not just a poacher, a man that mastered the art of beating the offside trap. He made being a striker look easy because he was not good at anything else but scoring. I'm telling you. And you know what's crazy? There was always a guy back in school that played just like Inzaghi. No technique, no ball control, hardly any speed. He could do about 3 kick-ups, but when it came to game time, you start him up front and he's bagging goals. Now, this next player is someone that I previously claimed to be a winger, but after research, we find out that sometimes our opinions are wrong. So when it came to including Ronaldinho in this list, I think it's only right to say that he revolutionized what it meant to be a number 10 in football. He made it normal for number 10s to be on the left hand side, the right hand side, and pick up the ball from deep. And I think his role as an enganche was where his career flourished. Winning the Ballon d'Or in 2005 and then the Champions League in 2006, his career peaked in this position. One of his most memorable performances showed how fluid his positioning was during his time. And I think he was the first number content after the 2000s to really pioneer this sense of freedom. Now, I also think that Cristiano Ronaldo is someone that redefined what it meant to be a wide target man, and it doesn't really get spoken about enough. Starting out as a winger, his goal-scoring instincts, aerial prowess and physical ability allowed him to transition into a new role, and slowly over time you would see him shift centrally, being a target in the box for players to put crosses in, but also a big man up there for Real Madrid. But have you ever seen a winger put up them numbers? That's because Ronaldo transitioned his game into a wide target man, picking up the ball from wide, but 9 times out of 10 ending up in the 18-yard box. And slowly, after cutting him from the left year after year, when he made that move to Juventus, they just started him striker. And I think this role as a wide target man should be utilised in football way more. Now let's stay in La Liga for a little bit longer and talk about how Sergio Busquets redefined what it meant to be a defensive midfielder, just like Makelele in the Premier League. Busquets could read a game like a diary of a wimpy kid book. It was easy. Precise passing and his defensive contributions made him a perfect link between defense and attack. And his role for Barcelona in that tiki-taka style of play under Pep Guardiola was crucial to their success. Time and time again he broke up the play and offered the ball to Xavi and Iniesta. But this was normal. He did this throughout his entire career as a silent conductor, winning the treble with Barcelona in 2009 and also 2015. With 60 passes per game, it just shows how efficiently he could initiate attacks. And in my opinion, he's a cornerstone for what new halfbacks aspire to be like, being able to body feint, receive the ball and play it out of danger. Now when it comes to completely random picks for players that redefine their position, I think no other player exudes aura in this category than Marouane Fellaini.
Oh, wow! Oh, wow!
This guy was a complete enforcer under the managerial constructs of Jose Mourinho, often deployed as a midfield enforcer or this target man striker. His ability to disrupt opposition play and also score crucial goals was unseen. It was unheard of. But that's what made him a valuable asset during his time. Visualize the 2016 FA Cup semi-final against Everton, where Marouane Fellaini was absolutely crucial for Man United, scoring a vital goal to propel them to the final. It was weird, but somehow very effective. This guy got over 20 goals for Man United. But if we're talking about powerhouse midfielders, how can I not talk about Yaya Toure? A guy that created the roaming playmaker. You know, you would never see a guy with the stature of Yaya Toure be able to play like Yaya Toure did during his prime. He was someone that was able to combine physicality with technique. But Yaya Toure was a playmaker, a 6'3" playmaker, and he's really good.
Definitely, because he's the guy who is really scoring goal at that.
3 Premier League titles, the ability to roam forward from midfield. He could score goals, he could dominate the game physically, and he also sometimes took set pieces. During the 2011 to 2012 Premier League season, I'm telling you, this guy was unstoppable.
If he would be with his
crucial goals against Newcastle United to keep City's title hopes alive. His goal in the 2014 League Cup final from distance. These highlights exemplifying his ability to change a game single-handedly. With over 60 goals and 40 assists for Man City, who would have thought that this guy came to Man City as a central defensive midfielder, a guy that also played centre-back for Barcelona. He was also African Player of the Year 4 years in a row, 2011, 2012, 2013 and 2014 as well. I'm telling you, people came up against Yaya Toure knowing that they were going to be eaten for breakfast. Now the evolution of football is driven by players that go against the norm, breaking down the door of their position and playing it in a different style. These players not only excelled individually, but they also helped the tactical evolution of the game, inspiring future generations to play just like them. But yeah, of course, if I forgot any players in this video, then make sure you comment them down below and let me know. There was a bunch of segments that got cut out of this video, mainly because the files corrupted. The audio was out of sync. I'm speaking like this and the audio's saying something else. Yeah, this has been Jibrules back with another video. Make sure you leave a like, comment and subscribe. And of course, I'll try and see you guys again on Sunday. If you want to support the channel, you can in the top right. Shout out to Vincent, the realest member of the Jibrules faithful. But of course, this has been Jibrules. Make sure you leave a like, comment, subscribe. Stay safe, stay blessed, and peace. Easily the worst outro in football history.